Here today with me for our Sun Salutation Surya Namaskara C with some variations and some modifications. So we're going to go through 4 Surya Namaskara Cs. The first one will be a modification for maybe someone who's a beginner or someone that has a limitation. The second one will be a full Surya Namaskara C. The third one will have some variations in it. And the fourth one will be to breath. So thank you for being here. And we'll be engaging our bandhas throughout this practice. Those are energy locks. They seal the prana, the life force, and the vitality in so it doesn't leak out and get depleted. And we have 3 bandhas. The first one is our Mula Bandha, which is our pelvic floor. We're going to engage and pull up. Second is Uddiyana Bandha, the belly comes in and up. And the third is Jalandhara Bandha. The chin comes in, the tongue is on the roof of the mouth. And I invite you at any time if you need to take a break. This is your practice, especially if you ever enter into pain. Yoga is not about pain, so always stop and back off and take a break. Anytime, it's your practice. So I invite you to rest into this piece of real estate you're occupying right now on the earth. You can only occupy one piece of real estate at a time, your physical body. And this is the spot, right here now, on your mat, at this time and space. And this practice is for you. So taking this time to really bring your awareness to yourself and bask in that state of self-love, honoring your physical, spiritual, energetic being, your pure conscious awareness on all levels. And we're going to begin to breathe into the lower belly, into the abdomen. Belly breaths, or it's also called abdominal breathing. And when we breathe into the lower belly, it does a very magical thing. It triggers the parasympathetic nervous system, the relaxation response. So we move out, if we are in any type of stress response or anxiety, we move out of the fight or flight, the stress response, which is releasing hormones that deteriorate our health, like adrenaline. And we're going to move into the parasympathetic, the relaxation response, which releases health-building hormones like serotonin and feel-good hormones. So we'll breathe into our belly throughout the entire practice. And I invite you to take this moment to check in with yourself as you breathe into the belly, relax into the body, become more and more present in your body, in this moment, in this time and space. Simply checking in, observing, witnessing the physical body, scanning through, no judgment and no need to change anything. We're just noticing and witnessing. And bringing the awareness even deeper within to the inner energies, the inner aliveness. You may feel the heart beating right there within the chest, and that pulsation expanding throughout the body. You may feel warmth or cool or energy moving, trembling, vibrating, tingling. Simply notice the energies. Allowing the body to relax more and more deeply, the muscles in the face, the shoulders, the torso, pelvis, the legs. And checking in with the emotional body. No need to change, no need to judge, no need to even label the emotions, just feeling into them. And taking this moment now to set an intention for yourself, something that you'd like to create and manifest in your life, stating it in the positive. I have the life of my dreams, the job of my dreams, the relationship of my dreams, in the positive and in the present moment. It is here now. Not like I will have the relationship of my dreams. I have. The subconscious mind is very literal. So repeating this affirmation silently to yourself, and feel those emotions, those same emotions that you'll feel as you truly have this fully manifest in your life as a reality. And releasing that intention to the universe with a this or better, this or better, this or better. And gently opening up your eyes. Beautiful job. And let's bring the hands to the knees and just do a few pelvic circles. Down the pelvis, just opening up the body slowly. Breathing into the belly. And as we go through the practice, I invite you to bring your awareness to the sensations of the poses as you deepen that sacred embodiment. And if thought energy occurs, which is a whole different vibration than being and being in the body, let's go the other direction. Then once you catch yourself in the thought, the thinking mode, simply let that go. Tell your mind that you are, for this time with yourself, you're going to be with yourself. You're not going to get lost in thought. And that can come later on today when you need to do errands or work or whatever it is that you do, care for children, parents, whatever it is, that thinking can come back. And I'm sure it will. You won't lose that ability, but we're taking some time out of the day. It's just kind of anything spontaneous now, moving back and forth, cat, cow, just getting comfortable in the body. You just move around. And noticing those sensations, basking in that nectar of the aliveness within you, keeping the breath flowing. And let's take this left arm down to the mat. Let's take the right arm around, opening up that right side body, engaging those bandhas, and let's bring in some breath. And then moving over to the other side, bringing the right hand down to the earth and lifting the left arm up and over the head, arching over the head as you open up that left side body, engaging those bandhas and bringing in the prana with the breath, the belly breathing. And coming back to center. Beautiful job. Let's do a little twist. Let's keep this left foot, keep the knee in. We can tuck this left foot beside the buttocks, and we can take the right leg over the left. So the right foot is on the side of the left foot, and take this left arm and hug the right leg into the body. Take the right hand down onto the earth beside the buttocks. The right buttocks, inhaling as you lengthen the spine, exhaling as you twist to gaze over that right shoulder. Inhaling, lengthening. Exhaling, twist. One more breath. Inhaling, lengthening. And exhaling, twist. And releasing. Let's go to the other side. So we're going to take the right leg and bend that knee and bring that leg in. Rest on the earth. Taking the left leg over the right knee. Bringing that right arm to hug that left leg in towards the body. Left hand is on the earth. Inhaling, lengthening. Exhaling, twisting to gaze out over the left shoulder. And taking 2 more breaths at your own pace. Inhaling, lengthening. And exhaling, twist. And release. Beautiful job. Let's bring the feet into Baddha Konasana, butterfly. And wrap those hands around the feet, open them up like a book, and let's just flap those butterfly wings as the knees flap up and down, opening those hips gently. And slowing down and bringing those legs to a rest, those wings to a rest. And taking those knees and bringing them down towards the floor as best as you can. Inhaling, lengthening the spine. Exhaling, hinging forward as you feel a beautiful hip opener. Noticing those sensations in the hips. Fully present with the body. Engage those bandhas. And let's bring in the prana and the breath. And one more breath. Beautiful. And then coming up. And releasing the hands, releasing the feet. And let's come up to a standing position. Let's just shake the whole body out. And I love to do some twists. Really taking care of our body. Let's begin to do some tapping, waking up the body. This has done a lot of Chinese medicine, going through the body, both arms. Gently tapping the face with the fingertips, the skull, back of the neck, shoulders. Let's end up right here in our thymus, right in the center of our chest. And tapping that thymus as we awaken that immunity center in our body. This is a beautiful way to keep ourselves real healthy. This shrinks as we get older, but if we tap it, it stays healthy and thriving, and it won't shrink. Keep it awake. Beautiful. Let's do a little cross patterning to integrate that right and left brain. So we're going to bring right hand to the left knee, left hand to the right knee. Very simple. If you like to add a little bit more, when we go right hand to left knee, you can take left hand to right shoulder. You can go slow at first so you get the coordination of it, honoring yourself wherever you are, and just keeping that loving, unconditionally loving, positive voice inside as we practice. All in different places, and our bodies are all built different, so never comparing. And coming to a close. Let's begin our Surya Namaskara Sun Salutation. And we're going to come to the front of the mat. And the feet are hip width apart. You can test that with your two fists. Make sure they're hip width apart. So we always set the foundation first in our poses. And then we move into the alignment. And with the mountain pose, Tadasana, I'm going to use the loops to keep us into the best alignment we can so that gravity has the least chance for us as we move on in years in our life. And some people in their older years, you'll see they're crunched like this. This is gravity because their posture wasn't good. But if we practice keeping that posture good, gravity's not going to pull our body down. So we're going to start at the feet, and that is ankle movement. Lifting those arches. And I like to lift the toes. For some reason, that art lifts my arches and then resting the toes down onto the mat, but keeping the arches lifted. Then we'll go into shin loop as we engage the calves. The energy moves up the calves and down the shins. That's the loop. Then we move into thigh loop. It starts below the knees. It's going to come up. So we're going to feel the lift of the knees. It's going to come up the front of the thighs. You're going to feel those thighs engage. And then it's going to go back down the hamstrings. So that's that loop. And pelvic loop is going to come up again in the front here and down the back. So we're going to feel that pelvis come to neutral. A nice small little loop. And we move into our kidney loop, which is small as well. Comes up and down the back. So feel that opening. And then shoulder loop is the same way. It's going to come up the front, and it actually comes right to between the lips. So you're going to feel chin come parallel to the earth. And the energy goes back. So you'll feel the shoulders go back. Shoulder blades squeeze together just a little bit. And the energy drops down the back. So you feel those shoulders drop away from the ears in our shoulder loop. And then our skull loop comes right from the center of our skull and it pulls up. So feel the whole body lengthen. You might grow a quarter of an inch taller. Feel the spine and everything lengthen as this last loop just pulls the body up and lengthens the body. And as we inhale, we're going to bring the arms up into our full Tadasana. And I invite you to go into a little back bend if you'd like to. And as we exhale, we're going to have the hands in three different things. We're going to have them close to the body if you like, out into giant angel wings, or on the hips, just not out in front as you hinge forward to protect that lower back. And bringing the hands down to either a block, or you can bring the hands down to the floor. Relaxing the head, maybe a gentle shaking, breathing, engaging those bandhas. Nice and gentle. Inhale into half forward fold as you bring the hands to the shins and extend that spine out away from the body. And exhale back into the forward fold. Hands by the little toes on the earth or a block. And then we're going to inhale that left leg back. And this is our first one, so we're going to go into a modification. We're going to go into a nice low lunge. Coming up into a low lunge with the back knee on the earth. The next one we'll do a full lunge. And if you are able to, if you want to go into full lunge, that's okay too. And we're going to exhale down. We're going to move into a downward dog. And you can either stay in table for your downward dog for modification, or you can come up into a full downward facing dog. And we're going to move into plank. I invite you to drop the knees, moving into a half plank. And that body straight, and then very gently coming down to the earth, nice and slowly. Strengthening those arm muscles as you come down. Then we're going to set our foundation. We're going to take this pelvis and we're going to press it into the earth. This is where our body's deeply connected to the earth, the fronts of the thighs, the knees, and the backs of the feet. Hands are by the shoulders, very little weight in the hands. And we're going to inhale as we lift that back up with our back muscles in a nice little baby cobra. Elbows are in, and engage those bandhas and breathe. One more breath. A nice little modification for down dog is moving into a child's pose here. You can open the knees and let the belly in. Just relax, taking a few breaths here. And coming up, we're going to move into low lunge. We're going to take that right foot up between the hands. And we're going to move into a low lunge. Engaging those bandhas and breathe. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, bringing those hands forward. We're going to curl those back toes under. Lift that back leg. Walk that back leg back up into forward fold. Exhaling into your forward fold. Releasing that neck and head a little bit. Engaging the bandhas and breathing. Couple breaths here. Inhale halfway up. Doing a nice extension of the spine. Exhale, forward fold. And inhale. Bring the hands to the hips, close into the body, or giant angel wings as you inhale up back into your mountain. Coming into a nice full mountain here. We're going to move into a Surya Namaskara C, a full Surya Namaskara C without modification. So we're going to inhale into a nice back bend. Exhale, finding your variation with your hands, whether that's angel wings or you like to put them on your hips. Into forward fold. Again, you can use a block. You're bringing the hands down by the feet, thumbs next to the little toes, relaxing the head and the neck. Couple breaths. Next inhale, coming halfway up. Feeling a nice extension of the spine. And exhaling down. Inhale, lifting the head and the heart. You can bring the right leg back into a full high lunge if you can. And those arms up. And if you need to go into the low lunge, that's okay too. That's an option, a modification. The hips are square. I might take my right leg is back, so I might need to move my right hip a little forward. I'm going to engage those bandhas and breathe in a nice high lunge. Shoulders are dropped down away from the ears. One more breath. And exhaling down, bringing the hands back to the mat, moving into down dog, left foot back, tailbone up towards the sky, thighs are back, and heels coming down towards the earth best as you can. Engage those bandhas and let's breathe. The head is between the arms. In our down dog, downward facing dog. On your next inhale, we're going to move into a plank. And you can either drop the knees down or you can hold yourself into a full plank. And we're going to slowly come down in chaturanga, bending those elbows, lowering the body, nice strength in the arms. And then we're going to move into an up dog, allowing yourself to roll onto the tops of the feet. Now we're using the arm strength. Still feeling the back bend, but we're using the arm strength. And breathe. You can rest the thighs on the mat or lift them up. More challenge. And as you exhale, bring those hips back, rolling back onto the feet. Tailbone is way up, pointing up towards the sky. Thighs are back, heels are coming down towards the earth. You can adjust that foundation. We'll bring it a little narrower. You need to. Let's engage the bandhas and breathe. Beautiful job. Inhaling as you bring the head and heart forward. And we're going to walk, step, or jump that right foot up between the hands. And we're going to move into a nice high lunge again. Squaring those hips. Shoulders dropping down away from the ears. Arms extended out. Back heel coming towards the earth. Engage the bandhas and let's bring in the prana and life force. Bring that knee more over the ankle. One more breath. Reaching up towards the sky, exhaling those hands down to the earth, bringing that back leg up to meet the front into a nice forward fold, Uttanasana, relaxing the head, releasing the head and the neck, engaging the bandhas and breathe. Next inhale, coming halfway up. And on your exhale, coming back down. Next inhale, coming all the way up. Inhaling as you lift the head first, the heart, hinging at the hips, giant angel wings. Then we're going to move into our third one with some variations. So we're going to go into our back bend. We're going to come back to center and we're going to move into a little Ardha Chandrasana, a little half moon. There's a couple different half moons. One's a balance, and one is just opening up this side body. So bringing the hand to one side as you open up the side body. And stand front so you can see a little better this way. We're lifting, we're not collapsing in here, lifting up and over. Finishing up on whatever side, coming back to center in your Tadasana mountain, inhaling, nice back bend, and exhaling, folding forward. Using the angel wings, hands on the hips, bringing the hands in close to your body as you come down. Bringing the hands down to the block or the earth, thumbs near the little toes, relaxing the head and the neck. Enjoy yes and no and spontaneous, very gentle movements with the head. Engaging those bandhas and breathing. Inhaling halfway up. And exhaling down. And then inhaling that right leg back, dropping the knee down into a nice low lunge. Then we're going to move into some lunge rocks in this pose. So we're going to begin to lunge forward as we open up the hip. And you can add some gentle movements, feeling a nice hip opener in that right hip. Keeping the breath flowing in the belly. And exhaling back as you straighten and extend that front foot. You can flex and the front leg, and then the front leg is extended, and you can flex and extend that front foot, this left foot. Keeping the breath flowing in the belly. Engaged in the sensations in the body rather than thought. And flowing back and forth into your lunge rocks. Basking in those beautiful sensations as you create more and more sacred embodiment. Finding your own rhythm and your own pace, being in your own process, your own practice. And here comes our Xander, ecstatic yoga kitty cat mascot. Hi, Annie. Hi, baby. And coming back to center. And we're going to take this left leg back and move into a table pose. So the knees are under the hips and the hands are under the shoulder. A nice, beautiful table pose. And we're going to move into cat-cow here, some flexion and extension of the spine. So let's move into our cat first, the flexion. We're going to arch that back up like a Halloween cat. Tuck the tailbone under and the head is going to drop. You're looking in towards your thighs and your belly. As you exhale, and on the inhale, we're going to arch that back, stick the tailbone out. We're going to lift the head and the heart as we extend the spine in our cow. And moving back and forth into your cat and cow, finding your rhythm, engaging in the sensations, noticing all those beautiful sensations as you bask in and be deeply present to your body. Sacred embodiment. like to add some spontaneous movements. Sometimes when I'm in my cat, I like to bring the hips back, feeling a nice stretch on the lower back. Sometimes it's fun. It feels good to do some circles when you're back here. With the hips. Keeping the breath flowing. And just moving back and forth in your cat, cow. Adding some spontaneous movements that feel good for you and your body. Finding your own rhythm. Being deeply present with your own self and your own sensations. And coming back to center. Beautiful job. We're going to curl those toes underneath, pressing into the hands and feet, lifting the hips, straightening the legs, moving into your downward facing dog. We're going to move into walking the dog, dropping one knee down to the earth, the opposite knee is bending in. And going back and forth as you stretch those calves, hamstrings. Breathing, engaging the bandhas, noticing sensation. Keeping that breath flowing in the belly, keeping that parasympathetic relaxation response triggered. And coming back to center. Beautiful job. We're going to hinge into a plank, and you can either come down onto your knees into a half plank, or you can be into a full plank. And we're going to go into a few push-ups for some variations here. Allowing yourself to strengthen those arms a little bit. So, and it may be just one push-up, maybe two, and maybe more. And when you're done, and you feel it's enough, you can bring yourself down to the earth and rest your head to one side or the other, connecting deeply with the earth and rest. Thank you, Linda. As you rest on the earth, bringing the head to one side or the other, taking a moment to really let the whole body sink into the earth, connecting your heart and your body with the earth, feeling that unification. Every cell in your body is earth energy, was part of the earth. You're a plant or a vegetable, or an animal who ate plants and vegetables. And you can turn your head to the other side. And if you turn your head to the other side, taking this moment now to send gratitude to the earth as your physical parent. Your body is earth energy. And thanking her also for all that she provides. Your home, your car, your clothes, your food are all from the earth. And coming back to center, we're going to bring the hands out to the side, about 30 degrees away from the body, pressing that pelvis into the earth again as we move into a nice variation called airplane or bird. So pressing the pelvis into the earth as you inhale, lifting the legs and the arms, and become the bird. Breathe. One more breath. And releasing down. Beautiful job. And pressing up. Let's move into a child's pose for a couple breaths. Your next inhale, coming up into table. We're going to curl those toes under and move into our down dog. Pressing into the hands and feet, lifting those hips. We're going to move into a three-legged dog as we kick that right leg out behind us. And feel that nice balancing pose right here in the three-legged dog, engaging the bandhas and breathe. If you'd like to open up into a little bit of a hip opener, you can bend that right knee and open up that right hip and the side body. Not moving into wild thing, just a nice opening of the hip. One more breath. And releasing down. Great job. We go to the other side, kicking that left leg out into a three-legged dog. Feeling that nice balance. If you'd like to open the hip, bending that left knee and opening up the hip to the left side. Both hands firmly planted on the earth. One more breath. And releasing that leg down. Beautiful job. We're going to lift the head and the heart, and we're going to bring that right leg up between the hands again. Drop the back knee. We're going to move into some lunge rocks on this side. So lunging forward, feeling a nice hip opening on that left hip. Adding some little subtle movements that feel good. Remembering we're gauging in sensation. Keeping the breath flowing. And as you exhale, straightening that great front leg as you lunge back. And you can flex and extend that foot, keeping that breath flowing. Any subtle movements you like on this side to open up this body. And moving at your own pace, your own rhythm, basking in the nectar, basking in sensation, and breathe. And coming back to center. You're going to curl those toes, the back toes under, lift that back leg up, and walk, step, or jump that back foot to meet the front in resting in a forward fold, Uttanasana. Hands are next to the feet, on the block or the earth, whichever works for you. Gently moving the head, release any tension in the head or the neck. And inhaling up into half forward fold, extending that spine. Exhaling down to full Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhaling, lifting the head, lifting the heart, always letting the head guide you all the way up into your Tadasana Mountain. We're going to do one more breath. Inhaling into a back bend. Exhaling into forward fold. Inhaling into higher low lunge. You can keep the hands down. You can drop the knee or you can come all the way up. Exhaling into downward facing dog. Inhaling into up dog. Exhaling into down dog. Inhaling right leg up. Either low lunge, you can keep the hands or come all the way up. Exhaling into Uttanasana, our forward fold. Inhaling into half forward fold. Exhaling into forward fold. Inhaling, lifting the head, lifting the heart, and all the way up. Bringing those hands in front of the heart in Anjali Mudra. Closing the eyes for a moment, noticing sensation, being fully present with yourself. Diving into the inner being, noticing the inner aliveness. Relaxing the hands, let's bring them behind our body as we clasp them behind. We're going to move into a standing yoga mudra. We can open up the chest as we extend those arms out behind us, hinging forward. Nice forward fold. Arms extended up towards the sky. Engaging the bandhas and breathe here, honoring your heart, the highest organ. On your next exhale, releasing the hands, bringing them down to the mat. And let's come all the way down onto our backs. And let's bring those knees into the chest. Rocking back and forth. And let's bring the knees, the feet to the earth. The knees are up. And let's keep that left knee up, left foot on the earth, and lift the right foot so the right ankle is resting on the left knee. We're going to move into a supine pigeon. Lifting the left foot off the earth, bringing the left leg in towards the body, clasping the hands behind the left thigh, the left hamstring, and pulling the left leg into the body, feeling a nice hip opener on the right side. And breathe. Engage those bandhas. One more breath. And releasing down, and we're going to go on to the other side. So we're going to have the right foot on the earth, the right knee is up, resting that left ankle on the right knee. And begin to lift the right foot off the earth, bringing that right leg into the body, clasping the hands behind the right hamstring and pulling gently that right leg into the body, finding your edge, never forcing. Nice opening on the left hip. And engaging those bandhas and breathe. And releasing those legs. And let's bring the legs, just bring them up. Let's move in, shaking the legs, maybe even be dead bug. Shake the arms and the legs. Releasing any tension. Let's bring the hands behind the hamstrings of both legs and just gently pulling them in towards the body. You can come up higher if you want to bring a little more stretch to the calves. And breathe. Let's bring the feet together, bend the knees, and move into our Baddha Konasana Sutta, supine butterfly or Sutta Baddha Konasana. Feet are together, hands are on the outside of the feet. And we can rock back and forth first. And then coming back to center and just pulling those feet in towards the body gently as you feel both hips opening up. Breathing into the belly, noticing sensation, noticing that sensation in the hips. Releasing those feet, keeping those knees nice and wide as you bring the feet to face the sky. Hands are still on the outside of the feet. And gently pulling the knees down towards the earth, towards the armpits, protecting those ribs. And breathe. And rocking back and forth and just moving into your happy baby Ananda Balasana, kicking around. And finishing up with your happy baby, bringing the feet to the floor. You're going to move into a hula. So keeping the back rested down on the earth, not lifting anything up. We're just going to swivel the hips. So feeling that right hip coming down towards the right heel, left hip is coming up towards the right armpit. Sacrum's flat on the earth. And just swiveling the other direction. So the left hip is coming down towards the left heel, right hip reaching up towards the armpit. And continuing to simply swivel those hips. Nothing's lifting up off the earth. We're just swiveling the hips gently. And breathing into the belly. Noticing sensation. Deepening that sacred embodiment. And coming back to center. We're going to move into hip pointers. So I'm going to root this right hip and buttocks into the mat as I lift the left one and point it up towards the sky. And then I'm going to release that left hip and root that into the earth as I lift and point the right hip up towards the sky. It's a little diagonal. And continue with your hip pointers, lifting one butt cheek, pointing one hip at a time, keeping the breath flowing. Basking in sensation. And coming back to center. Move into a little cat-cow on the earth, on the floor, supine. Cat, we're going to press the small of the back into the earth, tucking the tailbone under. And moving into our cow as we arch that spine up off the earth. The back still may be on the earth, but the spine is lifting up off the tailbone, sticking into the earth. And continuing into cat-cow. 3 more times. Your own pace. Deepening that sacred embodiment to bask in the nectar of all the physical sensations, the energetic sensations. And coming back to center. We're going to keep the knees up. We're just going to walk those feet a little further apart from each other till they get to the wide edges of the mat. And we're going to move into single knee drop as we drop one knee at a time into the center. Keeping that breath flowing. Basking in sensation. And finishing up on one last side. Bring the knees back up, walking those feet so they're back hip width apart. And we're going to drop both knees to one side. Lifting that top knee and bringing it over to the other side as you allow the bottom knee to follow. And lifting the top knee again, bringing it over to the opposite side. And the bottom knee following. And continuing for a few more at your own pace. Noticing sensation and aliveness within you. And after this next double knee drop, coming back to center. Let's bring both knees into the chest and rock back and forth. Releasing and relaxing that lower back one final time before we move into our final Savasana, which many say is the most important pose as we integrate all the entire practice. Resting the legs out, flopping those feet out. Bringing the hands a little away from the body, palms up, relaxing the body. Allowing the entire body to sink deeply into the earth. Releasing any tension, releasing the muscles. Feel the muscles of the face release, the shoulders, the neck, the chest, the upper back, the arms, elbows, wrists, and hands. Feel the ribs, the stomach, the abdomen, the entire pelvis relax, become heavier and drop deeper into the earth. Feeling the legs relax, the hips, the knees, the shins, the ankles, the feet. The entire body, 360 degrees. All the systems of the body, including the nervous system, the brain, and the spinal column, relaxing deeply. As we rest into silence and allow the practice to integrate on all levels of our being. Taking a nice deep breath into the belly as you begin to come back from relaxation. Maintaining the relaxation, just coming back into the body, wiggling the fingers and the toes. And beginning to stretch out the body. And rolling over to one side or the other. Noticing all the shifts in the organs and the fluids of the body. And coming up to a seated position. And taking this moment to check in again. Noticing the physical body. Noticing if you sense any changes or shifts. The energetic body, scanning inside the inner aliveness. And noticing the emotional being. And bringing yourself back to that intention that you set at the beginning of practice. We'll conclude with a namaste. I honor the place in you in which the entire universe dwells. I honor the place in you which is of love, of light, of truth, and of peace. When I am in that place in me, and you are in that place in you, we are one. Namaste. Thank you for joining me for Ecstatic Yoga, Surya Namaskara Sun Salutation C. I will be right back in a few minutes with a calming and balancing pranayama practice. Wishing you a beautiful and blessed day.